everybody. My name is Lorrie Denning and I'm a yoga instructor and a yoga therapist. And today's class is going to be for our neck and our shoulders. It's an area where a lot of people carry tension, and usually it's due to this forward head posture where we have this rounding of the back and then the head juts forward and our ear goes forward over our shoulder. So we're going to do some exercises, some asanas, we call them asanas in yoga, to open our chest, and we're going to strengthen our mid-back, right? Ladies, where your bra strap, the bra line is, and men, we call it your bro line. So they've invented that word for you guys, so I think it's cool. So anyway, it's right between your shoulder blades. That's the area that we need to strengthen. And all this comes down to your neck too. We want to keep your ear over your shoulder. So when you're living your life, when you're doing your daily activities, just notice, are my shoulders roll forward? Is my head jutting forward? And if it is, then this class is for you. And we need to start to open the chest, strengthen the back, and get that head back on our spine where it should live. So let's get started with class. The props that we will use today, you're going to need a block or a pillow if you don't have a block, but I highly recommend you get one of these things. A yoga blanket or 2 bath towels. So if you're using bath towels, I want you to put one on top of the other in this long horizontal position, and then start to roll them tightly together, so like you're making a burrito. We're making a blanket burrito. And we're going to start by just placing this little burrito down. Then we're going to come down and we're going to put our spine on this. So you're going to have your lower back and all the way up to just below your neck. Now, if I didn't have a support under my head, look what would happen. That's not friendly to your neck. So you want to put something under your head so that your forehead is pretty much level with the chin. If the forehead is a tad higher, I'm okay with that. But don't let the chin jut up. That will compress your neck. So you might feel a little tippy here. So I want you to widen your feet to the edges of your mat and then allow the knees to knock. Now if that doesn't feel good to you, you can just keep your knees bent with the legs straight. I wouldn't advise you to straighten your legs. It's very hard on your low back in this position. So feet wide and then knock your knees. Now, I want you to bring your arms to your side, right next to your torso. Palms are face up. So this right here, you're going to start to feel a stretch right in the front part of the shoulder. So I want you to close your eyes. Now, one other thing, if this is too much stretch or if it doesn't feel good, you're going to bring your arms out a little bit until you feel a nice opening but without any kind of pain involved. Nothing should hurt in yoga. So I'm going to start with my palms face up. So whatever arm position you're in, your palms are face up. So I'm just going to see how I feel. And I'm feeling a nice little stretch in the front of my shoulders. So I'm going to start right here. I'm going to inhale through my nose and I'm going to breathe into my navel. So as I inhale my breath, I'm inhaling into my belly. You can even take one of your hands and place it on your navel so you can feel it. So inhale, breathe into the hand on the navel. And then as you exhale, slowly breathe out and feel the hand on the belly sink. So inhaling into the belly, pause at the top, and then exhale, all the air comes out. The belly subsides, the lower back feels like it's coming down towards the bolster. So inhale into the navel, breathing in, pausing, and then breathing out, trying to let the body get heavy as you exhale. So the inhalation, feel the expansion of the breath as your belly rises. Try to bring the breath now into the ribs and breathe outward, sideways and up and down. And then as you exhale, start to feel the shoulders, the ribs, the whole body start to sink towards the bolster beneath it, towards the floor. And breathing in. and breathing out. Inhaling, breathing into the belly, and then bring it into the ribs. Breathe sideways and up and down, back and front. And then a really long exhale as you feel your body start to sink and release tension. So now if your hands or your arms are close to your side, let's walk them out, maybe to a T position, and notice how it changes the stretch for you. So if this doesn't feel good, anywhere between arms to the side or out in a T is fine. So same breath, breathe into the navel, ribs, and then soften. Let all the air come out. Feel the body start to sink towards the bolster beneath it. And let's stay there a few more breaths. Deep breaths in, belly rising, chest expanding. Pausing at the top of the inhale. And then making your exhale long and slow and letting the whole body, especially the part that's on that bolster, sink and get heavy. Let's stay here 3 more breaths. See if you can hear the breath. And 1 more. So if your arms are out to the side, walk them in. Let your knees open up. Hold your belly in. So when I'm talking about establishing core, I want you to think about the zipper on your jeans. And you're going to take an inhale. And as you exhale, the zipper starts really low. And as you exhale, you're zipping it up. Now we're ready to move off of this prop. So just sliding over to whatever side is comfortable for you, using your top arm to press yourself up. Now we're going to stay with a chest opener here, but I'm going to change the orientation of this prop. Now I'm going to put it horizontally. So now we're going to, when we lay back on it, we're going to put it so that the top of this little burrito ball bolster is right under your armpits. We're still going to be opening our chest, but it's a different angle, so you get a different stretch. So come onto the mat, draw your navel in to support your back, and then just start to lay down. And you want to get so that the bottom part is right under the armpits. And then, of course, something under the head to support your neck. So you've got, if you have a block, you've got 3 different heights. You've got flat, medium, and tall. Tall is way too much. So for your body, try the flat. Does that make my chin poke up too high? Yes, it does, so that's not right. When the chin is higher than the forehead, you're compressing your neck, the back of the neck. So I'm going to put it on the medium height. And now I feel like maybe my forehead is a tad higher than my chin, but that's okay. And then I'm going to bring my arms out to this T formation again. And notice what you feel. Bring your feet wide to the edge of the mat and let your knees knock. And close your eyes. So we're just going to stay here for about 5 breaths. Now when you inhale, I want you to breathe into, you start the breath into the belly, then you breathe into the ribs, and I want you to breathe all the way around, into the back ribs, into the front ribs, into the side ribs, so that we're stretching our chest with a breath. So close your eyes and get comfortable again. And as you inhale, let's breathe into the belly, then widen the breath up into the ribs, the breath. Go sideways, expansion, and then front to back. And then as you exhale, see if you can soften and let the whole back body sink onto this bolster, this little prop we've made. So the inhale, breathing in, deepening the breath all into the ribs. And then softening, letting go. Letting the chest soften, letting the arms soften, letting the belly soften. And let's stay here 3 more breaths. Let that exhale be super slow and long, and allow the body to release tension. Couple more. And last one. Good. Now, before we come off of the prop, navel draws towards the spine, and then you zip it up and you hold that. And then you roll off, whatever side is comfortable for you. Take the top arm and press yourself up. But you want to keep that core engaged as you do this, moving around. Just protects your back. So now let's take all the props off of our mat and set them aside. And I want you to come onto your backs. So with this one, I want you to put your hands just on your frontal hip bones. These are called your ASIS, anterior superior iliac spine. These are the front of the hips, front of the hip pelvis. So have your hands there. And as you inhale, breathe into the belly and feel how the back arches and the pelvis tips forward. And then as you exhale, pull the tummy in and gently press your lower back flat and feel how the pelvis tips back. And inhale, breathe into the belly, let the pelvis rock forward. You've got a big arch in your back now. You can put your whole arm under there. And then as you exhale, you're pulling your belly in and pressing the back flat. Now I can't even put my fingers under there. So we're inhaling, rocking forward, and then we're exhaling, flattening the back. Now I want you to come into right in the middle of those two extremes. You're not arched, you're not flat. You might be able to put half of a hand under there. And once you find that, we call that your neutral spine, your neutral pelvis. We want to lock that in by using our core muscles. So now I want you to bring your hands to your frontal hip points again. Sometimes I call these your as-is bones. It's just an acronym for the anterior superior iliac spine. So as-is bones. Imagine your navel is a magnet, and that the as-is bones are drawing towards that magnet in the center. Feel that. So gently, about 20%, 30% effort. Then pull your navel in and zip up your core, all while maintaining neutral pelvis. Now spread your feet wide. We're going to do windshield wipers. We're going to try to keep this neutral pelvis. So as you inhale, breathe in and let both knees fall to the right. Keep your left shoulder down. Feel the stretch. Then inhale back to center. Keep your neutral pelvis. And then as you exhale, let both knees fall to the left. Inhaling back to center, neutral pelvis. And now exhale, knees go to the right, and I want you to look towards the left. Inhaling back to center, and exhaling, knees go left. Now you're looking right. And inhaling to center, keep that core engaged to protect your back. Now exhale, going to the right. Inhaling to center, and exhale, gazes to the right as your knees go left. And a few more times, inhaling to center. Exhaling, knees going to the right, looking left, keeping both shoulders down, and then back to center, and then going to the left. One more time with movement, and back to center. Now we're going to go to the right with both knees, and we're going to stay there. Now there's going to be an option for you, and it is an option. You don't have to do this. If you want to feel more stretch right here in this is your TFL muscle, and lots of times it gets really tight. So what you can do is you can take your right foot and gently place it just above the left knee, and it's going to weight it down. If it doesn't feel good, you take the foot off. These are variations and options. They're not for everybody. And now what I want you to do, whether the foot is there or off, it doesn't matter. You're going to take your left arm and you're going to bring it up to like a Y formation and just bring the fingertips to the floor. And now what I want you to do is inhale and reach through the heel of the hand like you're Spider-Man and you're shooting out webs. And then exhale, reestablish the core. Draw your ASIs towards one another. Inhale, reach through the butt of the hand. Feel this nice stretch all on the left side of the body. And exhale, reestablish your core. So the inhale lengthens the body, and the exhale reestablishes that core. And 2 more breaths. So your arm is not up like a straight above your head. Think about a Y formation. You're out in a Y, and that gets your pec minor. These get really, bring your hand just in front of your armpit. You're gonna feel this muscle pop right here. That's your pec minor. And when we're doing all this slouching, this bad posture, this guy gets super short, and it draws your shoulders and your neck forward, and it loses the tone of the mid-back. So we're just opening this now. Right now we're opening our body. And now to come out of it, bend your elbow, place your hand to your shoulder, then scoot that elbow down. Take the foot off if you've got your foot up, and then inhale, bring the knees back up to center. Feet are wide. Exhale, knees go to the left. Now for this one, once again, it's an option. You take the bottom foot, which is the left, and just place it right below. Keep your zipper up, so keep the core engaged. Now take your right arm, bring it to a Y formation. The fingertips are on the floor, and the heel of the hand is pointing away from you. So now as you inhale, like Spider-Man, reaching those ribs out the heel of the right hand, and then the exhale, reestablishing the core. Inhale, reach through the butt of the right hand, and exhale, reestablish your core. Couple more breaths. Opening the chest at another different angle. And last one. And then to come out of it, bring your right hand to your right shoulder. Scoot your right elbow in, keep the core engaged, bring your left foot down, and then inhale, knees back to center. Good job, guys. Now bring your left thigh in, hold under the left thigh, then bring your right thigh in. Roll on your back. Now right now is a time when I want you to feel the flattening of the back so that you can roll it out. So you can keep your tummy drawn in and just roll around on your lower back side to side, just to bring your spine back to a neutral position after that little twist. So now once again, connect with the core. Zipper a little bit of the ASIS drawing together, and then roll to one side and press yourself up. Okay. Let's go on to our stomachs now. We're going to start that strengthening that I had talked about. We've opened the front of our body. Now we need to strengthen right in the mid-back, right between your shoulder blades. So I want you to come on the mat. If you have low back tension, or you have pain in the low back, and you know that coming onto your stomach in a prone position might aggravate that, we can take a blanket and we're going to place it right on the abdomen. But you want the hip crease to be off of it. So you can put this down, lay yourself down so that your abdomen is on this little lift, but that the crease of the hip is off. And what that does is kind of helps with that. If you have too much of a lumbar curve, it kind of flattens it out so that when we back bend, it's not going to bother you so much. So if you need that modification, or that variation is a better word for it, please feel free to do that. If you don't, then come join me. Come down on your bellies. Okay. Now let's bring our chest up. So as soon as we come into this position, which is Sphinx, I want you to think about pulling your navel in a lot and zipping it up. That's what's going to protect your lower back, because we're coming into extension here. And if we don't have our core engaged, you can compress your lower back. We don't want that. So when you're here, let's bring our forehead to the mat. Let's reach our right leg back and then our left leg back. Make sure that the tops of the feet are on the floor, and you're not sickling to the pinky toe side, and you're not sickling to the big toe side. You're right on the top of the foot. Pull the navel in and up. And let's bring our hands just so that the elbows are out by the shoulders. Spread your fingers. And as you inhale, I want you to pull back on the hands, feel the shoulder blades squeeze, and just look straight down. Look straight down and think about your head is lengthening. And then as you exhale, come down. So the inhale, I want you to push on the forearms and pull back on the hands without moving anything. Look straight down. Keep the navel in and up, and then exhale, come down. Do that a few more times. Pull back on the hands. Feel the shoulder blades draw together, and then lift up. Press down on the forearms. Draw your chin to your chest and have the top of the head, the crown of the head lengthen forward. So you're thinking about pulling back on the hands, and the navel's in and up, and you're lengthening from your tailbone to the crown of your head. Let's stay here 3 more breaths. Shoulder blades are drawing together and down your back. Chin is slightly tucked. Gaze is straight down. 1 more breath. And then come down. Bring your hands to your sides. Have your palms face up and come to whatever side of your face is comfortable for your neck. And just take a break. So we're starting to strengthen the part of our body that weakens from poor posture, the mid-back. It's your rhomboids and your mid and lower trapezius muscle. So we're going to continue on that. So this time, we're going to practice lifting our legs. So what I see a lot of times, when I ask someone to lift their legs, they lift, but their toes are pointed out. What does that do? Compresses your lower back. So I'm a stickler for alignment. Teaching therapeutic yoga, you've got to be in aligned. So what I want you to do now is watch me first. I'm bringing my forehead to the mat. I'm going to reach my left foot back, and I'm going to reach my right foot back. I'm zipping up my core. So I'm thinking about drawing my navel in and up. Now watch my shoulders. I'm starting with my palms face down. So I'm going to lift my head, my chest, and my shoulders away from the floor, and then I'm going to reach for my feet. And then I'm going to come down. Let's practice the top part of this first. So first, you're bringing your shoulders away from the floor and away from your ears. You're looking straight down. You're reaching for your feet. You're pulling your navel in a lot, and then you're exhaling down. Again, lift head and shoulders away from the floor and away from your ears, reaching for your feet, and exhale it down. Pull the navel in. Bring the shoulders away from your floor, away from your ears. Lift your head and your chest up. Pull your navel in. And breathe. Let's stay here and breathe. Breathing in and breathing out. Look straight down. Feel the crown of the head lengthen. Couple more breaths. Squeeze and reach for the feet. Tuck the chin. 2 more breaths. Nice slow breathing. And come down. Go to whatever side of your face feels best. And just rock your hips side to side. Loosen up your back. Now we're going to put the legs in this pose. We're going to just keep our forehead down. Have your palms face down. Pull your navel in and up. Now, I want you to think about your left leg. I want you to think about the inner ankle, the inner calf, the inner knee, and the inner thigh. In other words, think about the inner seam of your pant, if you're wearing long pants. And then just start to keep your navel in and up, and just lift your left leg up through the inner part of the leg, which brings the leg up with a neutral leg. We don't want it turned in or out. And then bring it down. Go to the right. So reach the leg back, pull your navel in and up, lift through the inner leg all the way as high as feels comfortable for you, and then lower, back to the left. Lifting inner leg, lift, and lower, and right side, lift, and lower. Now, we're going to put both of those things together, the front and the bottom of the body, upper and lower body. So palms face down, fingers are spread wide. Notice where your shoulders are. They're rolling down and forward. So first we want to bring our shoulders on our back. Hold your navel in. Reach for your feet as you lift your head and your shoulders up. Now lift both legs through the inner seams of the pants. Look straight down. Pull your navel in and up. Squeeze the shoulder blades. Reach for your feet. Feel the backs of the legs working. Squeeze your buttocks so that you feel your glutes strengthening. And let's stay here 3 more breaths. Deep breaths. The exhale, reconnect with that core. Zipper it up. Draw your ASIS towards one another. And 1 more breath. And then come down. Bring your hands under your shoulders. Elbows are not wide, they're pinned in. Take an inhale. As you exhale, press your hips back to your child's pose. Hips to heels. Now, if your butt is sticking way up in the air, you can take those blankets or those towels that we made that little bolster with and put that under there so you have something to sit onto. And then if your head doesn't hit the floor, you can put a block under your forearms. So I want you to come down into your child's. Keep your navel in and up, and just let your palms be up, and I don't need that, and just let the shoulders, the mid-back soften. If you don't need a block under your forehead, then don't use it. If you need one, then please use it. And just sit here and breathe for a couple breaths. Right where we were squeezing, in between our shoulder blades, I want you to imagine there's an accordion there. And as you inhale, the breath is opening the accordion. So breathe into the ribs. And then as you exhale, soften. So your navel's in and up the whole time. Stay here and breathe. Breathe into the ribs. And soften. Couple more. And last one. Now hold your navel in a lot as you stand up on your knees. Good job. And let's come to seated now. So I'd like you to sit up on something, whether I'm using a zafu, little pillow, little yoga cushion. You can also use that little blanket to sit on. You want to have your pelvis tip forward a little bit. We're going to work on our shoulders and our neck right now. Let me give you variation. If this doesn't feel comfortable for you, you're always welcome to sit in a chair. You can also sit with a block in hero pose if the knees allow this, or whatever where you're comfortable. You need to be comfortable. Your body is not going to let go of tension if you're, it hurts, my ankle hurts, this hurts. You can't, that's not what yoga is all about. Yoga is about feeling stable and steady in the posture, but at the same time feeling easeful. Feeling like, oh, this is nice. I can breathe through this. I'm not feeling compression anywhere. I can breathe through it. If you feel like you can't breathe, then you need to readjust your posture maybe, or the way that you're sitting. So I can sit here in heroes. I guess I can do it like that. So sitting here in heroes, or whatever you're in, if you're in Sukhasana in the seated, cross-legged position, doesn't matter. But what does matter is that your spine is straight. Bring your hands to your knees, whatever position you're in. And then slide the hands up and feel the shoulder blades come on your back. Now bring your hands to those ASIS bones. Are they tipped forward? Are they tipped back? Bring them right in the center. That's your neutral pelvis, what we practice on the floor. Once you find the neutral pelvis, you zip it up, and then those magnets draw towards your navel. So you've got your core contained. Now I want you to bring your left fingers just to the floor. We're going to inhale, palm up, thumb up. The right hand comes towards the ear, and then palm down as the hand comes down. So it's important to bring the arm up with either thumb up or palm up. Inhale up and exhale down. And one more time on this side. Inhale up and exhale down. Don't lose your core. Now we'll go to the other side. So leaving the right fingertips down. Let's inhale the left arm up as high as it wants to go, and then palm down as you exhale. Thumb is up, lifting up, and palm is down as you lower the hand. Couple more. Keep your zipper up. Keep the magnets drawing towards your navel so that the core is supporting your back. And one more time, lifting it up and bringing the hand down. Now, what I'd like you to do, I'm going to take this off. I'm going to come back with my bolster. I'm going to sit cross-legged, but you're welcome to sit anywhere that feels comfortable to you. All right. Now, let's bring the left hand to the floor. Engage the core. Now, I want you to reach the right arm up and over your head, inhaling. I'm looking straight ahead. And then as I exhale, I'm going to bend my elbow and bring the elbow down, and I'm going to look down at my left shoulder. Then I'm going to inhale, raise the arm up, my head comes back up to center. And then as I exhale, I'm going to bend this elbow, and now I'm going to look up opposite. Inhale, up, head to center. Exhale, look down at the left hand. Inhale, head to center. And now exhale, I want you to look opposite. Look up, look up, look up at the right. And then exhale, head to center as the arm comes over the head. When you bend the elbow, now you're going to look down. And inhale one more time, head to center. And then exhale, pull the elbow towards your side and look up to the right. And then bring your arm down and come back to center. Let's do the other side. So fingertips of the right hand come down, you lengthen the spine, keep your navel zipped up or your core zipped up, and drawstring on. I call this the drawstring and the zipper sometimes, so I've used different wording. Now the other side. So as you inhale, let's bring the left arm up. As you exhale, bend the elbow, and I want you to look down. Keep the left shoulder back, down at the right shoulder. Inhale, bring the arm back up, look center. And then as you exhale, I want you to look up to the left. Inhale, arm overhead, gaze to center. Exhale, elbows pulls down, and I look down to the right. Inhale, my arm comes up, my gaze comes back to center. Then I exhale, bring this down, and now I'm going to look up to the left. Keep the core engaged. Inhale, head center, arm up. Exhale, bend the elbow, look down, bring the shoulder blade on the back. And inhale to center and arm over the head. And then exhale, elbow down, and I want you to look up to the left. And then inhale, bring yourself back up. Inhale, shoulders up. Exhale, roll them down. Keep the core engaged. Inhale up. Exhale, roll them down. Inhale, bring them up. Exhale, back and down. Keep the core engaged. Up and back and down. Good job. Now, let's take a little twist. So I want you to uncross your legs, recross them so that the other leg is on top, so we give our hips equal attention. I want you to take your left hand and place it towards your right knee. Take your right arm, and you can inhale, circle it up, and then place it so that the fingertips are down. I want you to think about your spine as a stick. It's not bent over, it's nice straight, and we keep it straight with our core. So you're going to inhale. I want you to tuck your chin just a little bit. Feel right here at the top of the ears. There's a bone right at the top of the ears. That's called your mastoid process. So what I'm going to ask you to do is imagine the top of the ear, that mastoid process is lifting up a little bit. And you're going to feel your chin tuck, but I want that. It's going to strengthen your neck. So you're going to inhale, lengthen. As you exhale, I want you to pull your navel in and start to rotate to the right. Inhale, get taller, so your spine is lengthening. And then you're exhaling, twist your right shoulder back. Feel the rib cage rotate. Inhale, get taller. And then twist a little more, maybe bring the neck into it by looking over the right shoulder. And stay there and see how that feels. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, draw your tummy in and use those tummy muscles to twist. So I'm not pulling on my leg, I'm not yanking on the back arm. I'm stabilizing with my hands, but my core muscle is what's twisting. Couple more breaths. Now if you want to add on, take the left side of your chin and look up. And now you're going to feel a good stretch all on your SCM muscle, neck muscle. And breathe. Keep the navel in. That's what's protecting your back. Couple more breaths here. So when you're doing twists, you want to always twist to the right first. And then inhale, come out of it. So twisting to the right first follows the path of digestion. So we want to always go right first and then left. Got it? Remember that. So now let's do the other side. Find your neutral pelvis, not tip forward, not tip back. Find it right in the middle, zip it up, and draw your drawstrings towards one another. Lengthen the crown of your head. Remember the mastoid process lifts to tuck your chin. Take your left hand and bring the fingers back. Take your right hand to the left knee. As you inhale, lift up, the spine is lengthening. And as you exhale, pull the tummy in and just rotate a little bit to the left. Inhale, get taller. And now exhale, bring your rib cage around so the shoulders come around. Inhale, get taller. And then exhale, keep twisting. And now you can put the neck into it. So look over the left shoulder. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist with your belly muscles towards the left. Inhale, get taller. And complete twist. Now, if you want more, the right side of your neck is looking up at a diagonal. You're going to feel it all in here. Stretching out some of your major neck muscles. Keep the core engaged. One more breath. And then inhale, roll it out. Rotate it out. And then roll those shoulders up, back, and down. Up, back, and down. Core is engaged. And one more time. Up, back, and down. Good job. Let's stretch the upper traps out, which get really tight. This is Chester. She's come to say hello. Hi, Mama. Hi, Mama. You're a good girl. Okay, so let's do our upper trapezius. If your legs are okay, let's leave them as they were. If you need to change positions, change positions. So I want you to inhale, get tall, core is engaged. And as you exhale, let's take your left hand and just place the fingers down. And then bring your right ear to your right shoulder. Keep the left shoulder back and the fingers down. And inhale, bring the chin back up. Inhale, get tall. And exhale, keep the nose square. Don't look up or down as you bring your ear to your shoulder. Feel all this opening. Inhale, back up, get taller. And now we're going to stay. So inhale. So the right ear is to the right shoulder. The left shoulder is back. You're going to inhale through the crown of the head, and then you're going to exhale, reconnect with your core. So we're not twisting, we're just getting our upper trapezius where we harbor a lot of those neck knots. So we're just letting it relax. Couple more breaths. So the inhale, the crown of the head lengthens away from the shoulder, and the exhale, you reestablish your core. And one more breath. Now all we're going to do now is turn our head and bring our gaze to our right armpit. Now you're going to feel a different muscle. This is your levator scapula. It attaches on the shoulder blade up into the neck, and it helps raise and lower your scapula. And for that forward head posture, get super tight. So once again, keep the left shoulder back, keep the left fingertips on the floor. And as you inhale, think about the crown lengthening. And as you exhale, a little bit of zipper, a little bit of magnet, reconnect the core. So the inhale expands and lengthens the spine, and the exhale reestablishes the core. Now to come out of this, first we're going to inhale, bring our chin back up. And then we're going to exhale, bringing the head to center. And now we're going to go to the other side. So take the right hand. Let's change our crossing of our legs. Which one was in front? My right. So now I'm going to put my left one in front. We're getting some hip opening here too. And remember, this can all be done on a chair if this doesn't work for you. So now we're going to go to the other side of our neck. So I'm going to take my left fingers, or my right hand, and bring them down. So now it's the left ear to the left shoulder. Inhale, get tall. And then as you exhale, bring your left ear to the left shoulder. Inhale, come up and get taller. And then exhale, left ear to left shoulder. Make sure this shoulder is back and this hand is back. Inhale, get tall. Inhale, get taller, and the third time's the charm, we stay. So now that you're here, keep your core engaged, and as you inhale, feel the energy from the crown lengthening, from the shoulder to the head lengthening, and then exhale, reestablish your core. Let's stay here 3 more breaths. So your nose is straight ahead, it's not looking up and not looking down. And now inhale, and as you exhale, just keep everything the same. Just turn your chin to look down at your left armpit. And breathe. Same thing. Inhale from the right shoulder through the crown of the head. Feel the energy lengthening. And then the exhale gives us another opportunity to reconnect with our core. Couple more breaths. And then inhale, first you bring your chin up, and then you bring your head around center. Roll the shoulders a couple more times, up, back, and down your back. And now let's come onto our knees. We're going to do one quick one and we'll be done. Now once again, if you can't be on your knees, you can do this seated in a chair. So we're going to start in child's pose. And remember, child's pose, you can have your knees wide too if you'd like, if that feels better on your body. I'm going to have a block under my forehead. So watch me the first time. Let me see. Yeah, I'm good. So we're going to start standing on our knees. Now notice, if I don't engage my core, look at the back. Look at the arch in my back. This is compressing vertebra. So if I think about zipping up my core, drawing my ASIS together, I come more into a neutral curve so that my hem is straight across, not tipped forward. So if you have that going on and you have a tight psoas, this is what I need you to do, is pull the navel in and up, level your pelvis. Very important. So we're going to start standing on our knees. So you're going to inhale and place both hands on the lower back. This is going to tell you to keep this lower back pressing into the hand so you don't tip it forward. So keep your core engaged. So now you're going to inhale. I want you to bring your right arm up, thumb is up. And then as you exhale, hinge at the hips, come down, bring the hand to the lower back. And then stand up on your knees, circle the left arm up so that the thumb is up, bicep by the ear. And then as you exhale, palm is coming up to the lower back, forehead is down. And again, standing on the knees, lifting the right arm up. Don't let your ribs flare, so keep that core engaged. And then exhale, coming down, hand to the lower back. Again on the right, circling the arm up, bringing all the way up, and then rotating the palm so that the palm is up and on the lower back. One more time on each side. Inhaling up, reaching, and exhaling, coming forward. And last time, inhaling, circling that left arm up, and then exhaling, bringing the palm back to where it was. Good job. Okay, let me get a sip of water. I want you to bring your block. And we're just going to do bridge pose, and then we're going to be done. So nothing under your head, maybe just for bridge, I don't like anything under your head. So come onto your backs. Now with bridge pose, super important that your feet do not turn out. You don't want your toes pointing out and your heels in. What this does is compress your lower back, and it can cause sciatic pain, so you don't want that. What I tell people if they have that tendency is to put a block between their feet so that they make sure that their heels and their big toe mounds stay connected with that block. It will prevent this from happening. Okay. So what I'm going to ask you to do is place it between your thighs. So we don't want it in the knees. You never want to place a block in the joint. It's in the flesh. So right between the thighs. And what I want you to do is lift your chest up and scoot each shoulder blade under just a little bit, and then tuck your chin. Now, find your neutral pelvis. You're not flat and you're not super arched. You're right in the middle. Bend your elbows, elbows close to the side, fingers pointing up, fingers spread wide. Now, I want you to practice this. Push into the big toe mound on your feet. Draw your outer ankles in. Squeeze your block. Now, can you keep all that? Can you even think about lifting your pelvic floor up a little bit? So you want to think about keeping the big toes grounded and the outer ankles drawing in. As you squeeze this block, you're going to feel that inner seam of that pant start to activate, and that's what we want. We're strengthening your inner thighs right now. So back of the arms to the mat. Now we're going to come up. As you inhale, I want you to lead with your tailbone. So first flatten the back and then push onto the feet. Big toes, press, squeeze the block, tuck your chin and slide the head back. Now pull the navel in and really zip up your core and point your tailbone to your heels. Super important in back bend, so you're not compressing your lower back. By drawing your tailbone towards your heels, you are lengthening your lower back. So those of you that have tight psoas, this is a tip that you should bring into your lifestyle. If the back is bothering you a lot, you want to think about lifting your ASIS up and just drawing your tailbone down a little bit. Stay here and breathe. Breathe into the chest, widen the ribs. The exhale, reconnect the core, zip it up, point your tailbone towards your heels, tuck the chin, and one more breath. Inhale, lift, maybe a little higher. Now as you exhale, pull the navel in and start to come down. Keep pulling the navel in. Keep the core engaged as you come down on that thoracic spine. Once your hips hit, let the core go a little bit and notice that the hips will rotate forward. Good job. Okay, one more before we finish. I'm going to turn sideways so you can see me. I want to do a hip stretch. So I want you to bring your left thigh towards your torso, rotate at the hip, and then bring the left ankle just below your left knee. Now you're going to take your left hand to the left knee. If you can't reach it, reach your calf, put a strap around it, whatever you need to do. And now what you're going to do is you're going to take an inhale, and as you exhale, you're going to draw this right knee towards your left shoulder. And then inhale, let it go. The exhale draws the knee towards the shoulder. Feel it under here, under the hip. And the inhale, okay, let it go. This is good for sciatica. Exhale, draw it in. Inhale, let it go. Exhale, draw it in. And then start to do some very small circles. If this doesn't hurt anything, just little movement in here. You can bring the hip in and just circle it around so that we're loosening things up in there. And now what I want you to do is take your left foot and walk it to the left a little bit. So we're changing the angle. We're going to do the same thing. Inhale, and now exhale, bring this right knee towards your left shoulder. Notice the difference in the stretch. And inhale, let it go. The exhale draws it in. And the inhale lets it go. And just do that a couple more times. Notice where you're feeling it. And then you can start doing that little bit of an undulation, a little bit of a movement in that right hip, just to loosen it up. Couple more breaths here. And then bring that foot down. Before we go to the other side, just stay here for a breath or two. And notice if you feel difference in the right hip to the left. Some people say that you feel maybe a little more grounded on the right side. That's what I feel, that this right hip has gotten a little more grounded to the floor. So we need to catch the left one up so we're not lopsided. So first, take an inhale. The exhale brings your left thigh towards your torso. You rotate at the hip and then open the knee. Take your right hand to the left knee. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, draw that knee towards the opposite shoulder. And then inhale, let it go. The exhale, draw it in and let it go. Keep a little bit of a core engagement, always to protect your back. So maybe 20% core engagement right now. And then bring the knee in and you can start to move it around. Just finding areas of tightness, areas of stickiness, areas where it just needs to move. And now to change it, take the right foot and displace it to the right a little bit and do the same movement. Inhale and then exhale, draw it in. Inhale, let it go. And exhale, draw it in. Notice the difference where you're feeling it, and then circle it, figure 8 it, whatever feels good. Just bring some circular, non-linear movement into that hip joint. We're working our fascial system right now, not the muscles right now so much as the fascia that surrounds the muscles. And it requires a little bit of undulating movement to let it to release. Good job, guys. Now bring both feet to the floor. Let's straighten our right leg. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, draw your left thigh towards you. I'm a big fan of holding under the thigh. If you're holding onto your shin and pulling it in, you risk compressing your knee. So I'm all about safety. Stretch your right foot forward as you bring your left thigh in. Keep your navel drawn in and up and breathe. The right foot press through the big toe mound. Draw the outer ankle in. That just keeps your leg nice and neutral so you're not kicking it out. Your leg is active. And one more breath. And then drop your left foot. Rebend the right knee. Now we're going to straighten the left. Take an inhale. And as you exhale, draw this right thigh in towards your torso. The left foot, you're pressing through the big toe mound and drawing the outer ankle in to keep that foot straight up so it doesn't cock out or in. And we're breathing. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, press that left heel away. Exhale, draw your right thigh towards your torso. A couple more breaths. This is wind relieving pose, Apanasana. And let's bring your right foot down. Let's rebend the left knee. And now both knees to chest. Circle. And go the other side. Good job. Roll to one side, whatever's comfortable for you. Take the top hand and core engaged. You press up. All right, guys. That was a nice little practice. Let's come back on our backs for our Shavasana. So for Shavasana, what I'd like to do is, if you have blocks, let's make a little something to put our legs on. You can use pillows, you can use a bolster if you have that. What I want you to do is lay back and put your knees on this. It's a nice release for your back. And then come down. If you have very rounded upper back, and when you lay on the back without support under the head and your chin is clear up here, you need to put something under the head. Maybe a little blanket, a little towel, something. And bring your palms face up. Notice how you're feeling. You can lift your hips up a little, pull your navel in, and then set your lumbar down. And just see how you're feeling here. Don't let the chin go up. Just take a few moments to settle down, to reconnect with the breath. And I want you to go inside. Do you feel energies moving throughout your body? Do you feel tingling? I'm going to do a body scan with you. So when I call out a part of your body, I want you to bring your awareness there, which means think about that spot, part of your body. Bring all attention to that part when I call it out. Ready? Let's first connect with our breath. Deep breath into the navel, breathing in and widening the belly and the rib cage. And as you exhale, let everything soften and sink. Slow breath out through the nose. And again, breathing into the belly and the ribs all the way around. And sinking as you exhale. Start to let the body feel heavy and start to sink as you exhale. Couple more breaths. One more long, slow breath. And now we'll begin the body scan. Let your body feel heavy and relaxed. I want you to bring your awareness to the crown of your head. Let the scalp soften. Bring your awareness now to your eyes. Let the eyes sink into their sockets. And deep breath in. As you exhale, bring awareness to your mouth and let it soften. Let the upper jaw soften and the lower jaw soften. Bring awareness to your face. Let the whole facial muscle soften. Bring awareness to your shoulders. As you exhale, let the shoulders soften. Notice any sensations you may feel along the way. And deep breath in. Let the elbows soften. Feel awareness in the elbows, in the forearms, and in the hands. Bring awareness to the palms of the hands. Notice any sensations you may feel, any energies you may feel in the palms of your hands. And then bring awareness to your fingertips. Notice what you feel. Now bring your awareness to your navel, to the whole area from the navel around to the lower back. And as you inhale, breathing in. And as you exhale, let the belly soften. One more breath like that, breathing into the navel. And then letting the belly soften. Now bring all the awareness to the lower back. We're going to stay on the lower back a little bit. So awareness to your lower back. As you inhale, breathe into the lower back. As you exhale, soften and sink. Let the lower back release. Breathe into the lower back. So the belly's not rising too much. You're breathing into the lower back. And then the exhale, you're sinking. Lower back softens. Breathing in. And softening. Let's move on to our hips. Bring all awareness to your hips. What do you feel? Bring awareness to your thighs, front, back, and in and outer thighs. What do you feel? Bring awareness to your knees, your calves, and your shins, your ankles, the tops of your feet, the soles of your feet, noticing any sensations. The toes on each foot, and now the whole feet. each foot as a whole. Feel sensations, feel energies in the soles of the feet. And now we're just going to stay here for a few more breaths. Breathing in deeply. Exhaling, relaxing, and feeling the body get heavy and sink. And stay here and breathe. One more good breath. Now start to deepen your breath. And start to bring movement into your fingers by circling your fingers, circling your wrists, maybe pointing and flexing your feet and circling your ankles. Flexing and pointing the hands, flexing and pointing the feet, and circling once again, clockwise and counter. Hold your navel in and up as you bring your left foot to the mat, and then let the right foot come to the mat. Roll onto whatever side is comfortable for you. Have something under your head. Stay here and breathe for a couple breaths. And when you're ready, use that top arm to press yourself up and come to whatever seated posture that feels good to you. And let's bring our hands to our heart. So let's bow to one another. And you can repeat after me. Peace to my body. Peace to my heart. And peace to my soul. And I thank you for joining me, and I look forward to teaching you again. Thank you, and namaste. Good job. Have a great day, my friends, and I will see you soon. Thank you.